Absent. Altoff.
Here.
Carpenter.
Here.
Duncan.
Here.
Lindell.
Here.
Mattson.
Here.
And Mayor Robinson.
Here, all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice to all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last City Council meeting for September. Hopefully by the time we meet next time, it won't be snowing yet. This time, the chair will take a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Ken, second by Bill. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. This time, we move to public input. Citizens may speak to issues not on the agenda. Before speaking, please give your name and address for the minutes. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and comments must be pertinent to city business and adhere to data privacy rules. No employees' names may be used, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. Is there anybody wishing to address the council under public input this evening?
Robert Badani, 86 Riverside Terrace. Wonder if you had any feedback on my concerns over the rail siding between the RAP property and the old trust plants.
I've not heard or seen anything yet on that.
Okay, how do I proceed? And let's find out what's going on.
Well, we'll have to address the railroad on that to see what's going on there, because they own the
Okay.
tracks.
Haven't been any cars over there on the siding where we used to unload the lumber. They're now inside the shed over at the old malting plant. I don't know if they're trying to hide them or what's going on.
Well, check with them, see what's going on. We'll check with those folks.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to address the council under public input this evening? If not, we will move on to the consent agenda. Items of this area of the agenda may be adopted, or they may be removed and placed on the business area of the agenda for discussion purposes before approving. Folks at home, I'll read the consent agenda. Item A is the just and correct claims for the accounting period ending September the 14th, 2018. Item B are the meeting minutes for the September 4th, 2018 City Council meeting. Item C are the meeting minutes for the September 4th, 2018 City Council work session. Item D is Resolution 2382, approved conditional use permit for Joseph Terwilliger, 114 Mill Street West. Item E, Resolution 2383, approve a variance for 106 Woodridge Drive. Item F, approve application for payment number 3 for the 2018 street improvement project. Item G, approve street closure for Sogan Valley Art Fair. Item H, approve combination liquor license for Artisan Plaza. Item I, Resolution 2384, adopting the preliminary tax levy and budget collectible in 2019 and setting a public meeting date. Item J, LED project completion, wastewater treatment plant. And item K, public work fence. Are there any items anybody is wishing to remove? If not, the chair will take a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Bill, second by Ken. Any further discussion? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That moves us on to council business and the library construction issues.
Well, as you see in your packets, the report came back from Inspec that did our water intrusion study, and they were independently contracted by SEH to do the study to find out why we have had water coming into the library. And according to the report, it came back saying that it was a construction-related issue. Specs were not followed. And we also have had other issues with fraying and tufting of the carpeting, and with the paint just discolored. And SEH, as we've brought those up, have gone back to the company, the construction company, and they've said, essentially, not our problem. So in the report that SEH provided, it does read the specs that were not followed during construction. So now it's time to move forward, we believe. If I talk to the library board, and so they are asking that council bring it to our city attorney to get his suggestion where to go.
There's one thing too, the construction company that
Yeah.
was sold out or taken over by this other company. So they're the ones that are saying no.
Right. And from what I've read, Bossart was the project management company that built the library. And then it was sold to Wank in 2013. But from what I read, Wank was working with Bossart during that time. So they have been apprised of the situation from day one.
So I think, Linnell, if we can get that to the city attorney to start addressing that issue to see what legal recourse we may have. Okay?
So, first of all, I believe it was designed and engineered by SEH. Mistaken here anywhere? Okay, so my first question is, why isn't SEH here representing what Ms. Miller's talking about? Why is she? She's the librarian.
I understand.
Okay? And it's SEH's thing, and it's been on my radar for some time, and I've been trying to bring it up and to try to nail it down, but it just keeps getting kicked down the road. And I think it's time SEH was held accountable. Okay, so I would prefer that you sent this back to like the Public Works, and we get the city engineer, and we find out what are they gonna do about it? Because it really shouldn't be our problem, and it shouldn't be our city engineer. It should be SEH. That's who we hired to do this, and it's a mess.
Yep.
And it's a bigger mess than you think it is. And I know some things that are directly correlated to SEH's part in this. And I think they ought to be held accountable. Not Linnell, not the city engineer, and certainly not Miss Miller.
No, I can-
Okay, so I would appreciate if you'd do that. Thank you.
And,
Nicole, I guess I would ask you, the report indicates that the design was okay, they just did not implement it properly, if I read
Yes.
through this.
Right. And that was what an independent third party stated.
Okay?
The report may say that the design is okay. I can assure you it's not. And I know a little something about this, and it's been side and shuffled around, and I can assure you that it's not okay, and it was not designed properly. And I've known that for 6 years. And it needs to be taken back to SEH and them held accountable.
Okay, we'll, Marcia, you want to take that back to Public Works also with that letter, and then we'll also check with the
And
attorney
also
also.
start with the lawyer too, but yeah, we'll put it on for next.
Yep.
Let's don't kick it down the road any further. This has been going on for 6
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. We don't have to have a motion for that. We just need a consensus to.
I'm thinking under the circumstances, maybe a motion would be advisable.
So Chair will take a motion to approve the letter being sent to the county attorney, to the city attorney for legal ramification, and also discussed at Public Works to double check the ramifications of SEH or whomever's responsible.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Ken, second by John. Any further discussion? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Moves us on to item 7B, the Service Line Warranties of America.
At the last city council meeting, the city council chose to table this item. I had brought it forth at that time to ask the council if you would consider having a representative from Service Line Warranty come back to the city council to review their program and their offering, and then questions that you may have. It's been a while since they were here last, and we have a couple of new council members as well. So the council asked, or tabled that item so that we could get a copy of the minutes, which I have now provided. And the minutes did indicate that the council wanted to move forward by looking into this project, but it was in a non-binding manner. So the city council did not take any action at that time to actually approve entering into any kind of an agreement with this company. As you may recall, it had come to light after the council had taken action to not move forward, that a marketing agreement had been signed by then City Administrator Johnson, and they provided a copy of that, which was given to us, and I gave to you at the last council meeting. So my question still remains is, are you interested in hearing from them? They can come forward, address any concerns. We're not committing to anything. It's just giving them an opportunity to speak, answer questions that you may have, and then you could decide at that time if you're interested in pursuing it or not. So I guess I would like direction from the city council on how you'd like to proceed.
Unless the two newer council members want to hear the program, I wouldn't be interested in having them come
I
to
went
the
back
meeting.
and watched the YouTube video from the original one, so he doesn't need to come for me.
No, I don't need them to come. I would like to get something a little more definitive from the city attorney regarding our obligations to that marketing agreement if we are. I don't like the idea of putting a city logo on a document. It kind of implies that we are in partnership with that said company, and I don't want that. I mean, they're free to come in the community and you know, offer their services, but don't do it under the you know, with the.
I will give the company credit. They did come and make the presentation and ask us about it. People in this town are getting mailings from other people now, or other companies offering the same thing that never came before the city, so.
Did anybody talk to Roger about and find out, are we obligated to do this because the previous city administrator kind of went against the wishes of the council, or where are we at regarding that?
I did contact the city attorney, and to summarize what he said, he just felt that since the council did not actually approve the contract, and since it was not signed by the mayor as what is outlined in the city charter, he felt that maybe it was not a binding contract. It doesn't mean we wouldn't necessarily end up in court if they pushed it. He just felt that we'd have a good argument on our side, but it may not prevent any legal action.
Okay.
At this time, then, I mean, we didn't vote, the council did not vote to approve the contract, and we were not aware that it was actually signed. So I think the council's already spoke that they don't want to go forward with it, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, because we've already voted on it once, so.
It's right here in the minutes that we had when it came across the first time.
Okay, I can let them know that you're not really interested in the program, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That moves us on to item 7C, which is the city administrator position update. Earlier this evening, the Personnel Committee met. We had done interviews a couple weeks ago of the folks that we chose to interview. After doing the interviews and having more discussion, the consensus was to not go with any of the candidates that were interviewed on that evening. So that is the report from the Personnel Committee on that. But that leaves us with other options of what we need to do, or which way the council wants to go next. There's the option of possibly hiring an interim administrator through the League of Minnesota Cities, or possibly looking to hire from inside the city with the staff that we have now. So unless anybody's got any other options. Did I cover everything, guys, that we discussed?
Yeah.
Correctly? Didn't miss anything?
I think we have a good candidate sitting with us tonight. I think the consensus of the council, and I can be wrong, but would be Mr. Maroney. He knows the town, he knows the people, he's out amongst them all the time, and he shows good for us. I feel maybe the Personnel Committee should sit down with him, work out an agreement, and see what we can do. Let's say, let's not rush into either there, but let's say early December or something like that, that he would take over, and let's say maybe a 6-month trial or something, or whatever.
Just to rehash some of the history, if everyone remembers a few months ago when Leroy had nominated Dave to be the administrator. At the time, it ended up in a 4-3 vote saying no, and the reason it was a no vote at that time is that a few of us, we were already had started a process. We needed to finish that process. We have now, this evening, as a Personnel Committee, have ended that process. We did not find the candidates we were hoping we would get, so that's why we're at this point now where, Morris, you're saying to offer Dave that
Are you?
position
make that a
subject
motion?
Make that a
to,
motion.
Okay, so for further discussion, I have a motion on the floor to offer the city administrator position to our internal staff, Dave Maroney.
And the Personnel Committee works out the agreement,
Personnel Committee will work out an agreement,
and 6 months,
well, whatever whether it's 6
whatever,
months.
that's up to you guys, but I mean, I'm just saying, a 6-month trial or something, it shouldn't be a problem.
It won't be a
but-
trial, but I mean, it'll be,
Not a trial, but I mean, just a
yeah, I mean, we can
review
work that
after
out.
6 months
Yeah.
or something.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, yeah, right.
He will be the city administrator.
Yeah,
It will not be an interim tag or anything like that if we were to go that way.
and starting
Oh.
early December.
we can work out
And that's
details.
that's
Yeah,
where
work out
you
those
guys.
details.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's.
I mean, that would be something. But I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So I have a motion by Morris and a second by Ken.
Nobody asked him either tonight.
Well, I mean, we got a first and a second, so I mean, after that, then he could still say yay or nay. But is there any other discussion? Seeing as there is none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That'll be the direction that the Personnel Committee will go from here, and we'll see what happens from there. That moves us on to reports this evening. Mike?
Wes wanted me to share, starting October 8th, we're going to do hydrant flushing around town. So just be ready for that. I know some people experience some discolored water right afterwards because we agitate the lines, things like that. So we just ask you to have some patience with that. Flush your house out when it's done. We'll advertise it on Facebook and the newspaper a couple weeks prior to now, so everybody knows that's coming. So that's going to start the week October 8th. Ted will start working his way around town. Street project update. Obviously, with this week, we're going to be behind. Paving was supposed to start next Tuesday. They're supposed to finish services on Mill Street this week. The weather obviously didn't cooperate. They're doing a pretty good job, I think, at trying to get Mill Street drivable. It was a pretty good rain rut in that this morning. They're putting some rock down in that this morning when I was up there checking on that. So we're probably, looking at the full week here, we're going to be probably a full week behind before we get to paving on the Minnesota Street side of things. So we got that going on. And I think that's it. We do have some stuff scheduled on the northeast side of town, like Ridgecrest in that area. We'll be doing some spray patching, weather dependent again. So I'm guessing our contractor was coming to do that is behind. So it's probably another 2 weeks out or at least before we see anything like that going on. So that's all I got going on.
Well, thank you for your vote of confidence. I appreciate that. I look forward to meeting with the Personnel Committee, and I don't believe Leroy is here tonight. I haven't heard him, but I'm sure he's watching at home, so thank you, Leroy, as well. Also to the council, on a prior item tonight, just want to thank the council for the ongoing support and patience with regard to kind of the moving target of the liquor licensing on Artisan Plaza. It's been kind of a long, drawn-out affair here. Appreciate Diane Howard's help, David Olson's help. AGED office came to bat later on with us and helped us figure out a way to make our local liquor license ordinance and codes fit what David Olson was developing or is developing or has developed at Artisan Plaza. And also special thank you to our 2 off-sale liquor license holders. They've definitely kept in contact with me through this process and certainly helped along the way. So thank you to all of them.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Let's see what's going on at the library. I have started a walking club of readers. We meet at Hannah's Bend on Fridays at noon and go down Milltown State Trail just to get people moving and talking about books. And it's been pretty good so far. We've had 2 weeks. We're going into November. Story times are going to begin again the end of this month. Mondays will be Miss Cindy's story time, and then we're going to have lunch bunch beginning Wednesdays at noon again. And update about the bike racks. They have been installed. They're on the, I don't know if any of you have driven past the library. They're on the big slab of concrete in back. You can see from Mill Street. They have little stickers on them saying that they were purchased with the grant, the Legacy grant. And on the 29th of this month at noon, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. So I would love as many members of City Council to attend as possible. And we'll have cake. And I have some awards to give out. I want people to bring their bikes. And so we'll have, they're going to be little awards, little prizes for shortest rider, longest ride, and safest transportation of book on a bike.
What time is that going to be?
Noon on Saturday the 29th.
That was changed from this coming Saturday to the 29th?
Yeah, I had the 2 options, and that Saturday actually worked the best for the most people. So, yeah. And I think that's about it.
Thanks. Sam?
Just an update on the new website. We had another meeting with our vendor today via phone. It's coming along nicely. It's a lot of hard work to get everything transferred over, but we're working on it, working hard, and hoping to go live with that middle of October, depending on coordination of everything working. So we're excited about that.
Thanks. Steve?
Mike alluded to the weather conditions. I've been getting updates from the National Weather Service. This week's rainfall they expect to be somewhere in the 4 to 6 inches. They're sending out notices on potential for flooding, flash flooding in some areas. I don't think we're going to see that big, what we've had so far and what they're projecting for us. We are watching the river levels. I would expect that given where they're at, we may see some green space get wet in our parks. The trail may be impacted underneath Highway 20, but I don't think we're going to be at a point where we're going to have to worry about filling sandbags and that type of stuff. But we continue to monitor it whenever we get into these situations where the water level is already high and we just get more rain. Worst thing that could happen would be if the storms were to stall out and we get that training that we saw in the 2000, I believe it was 14 flooding event. That's what resulted in that. On the police side of the business, we have had some graffiti popping up in the last few weeks. Public Works has been working with us to get it taken care of on any of the public infrastructure. We work with property owners on residential or commercial structures. But if people see something, please report it. The officers are doing a great job of finding it, but we have had some that we hadn't caught yet reported, and we want to make sure that we get everything identified so we can get it taken care of and removed. And the officers have been successful on locating 2 subjects that were connected to it, but we just want to make sure that we get all the stuff eradicated. That's all I have.
Thanks. Linnell?
Thank you. As Sam mentioned, the website is coming along, and I just want to thank Sam. She has put in a lot of time and work on this. It's really kind of been her project that she's been working on, and she's done a really good job. I think you'll be very pleased with it. We're really excited to bring that forth here in the next few weeks or so. Also, I just wanted to let you know that I will be attending a conference next week in Alexandria, so I will be out of the office Tuesday through Friday, but I will have the city phone with me, and I will be checking emails in the evening. So if you need something, you can reach me that way.
Bill?
Just want to congratulate you, Dave. Thank you. Sure you're going to have some fun. That's all I have.
Same. Welcome on board.
Derek?
Nothing for me.
Ken?
Well, tonight we had our first police commission meeting to talk about dog licensing and possible changes to the dog park rules, and we're gonna have to work on them a little bit more, but they're coming along. And welcome aboard.
Welcome, Dave. That's all I got.
Well, Dave, welcome. You've been here quite a while, so just turn your hat around. The only thing I've got tonight, just shout out the Goodhue County United Veterans Council will be holding a candidate forum. You know, this is election season. That'll be held Monday night at 7:30 on the 24th in Zumbrota. We've got our 2 sheriff candidates will be there. The folks running for the House of Representatives from the area will be there. We've got folks from the federal side, state side, that'll be there to speak. It'll be your chance to ask them questions going forward before the election. This is like our 15th year of doing this, but this will be held on Monday night, the 24th at 7:30 at the Zumbrota VFW for all those out there that are interested in talking with those folks. So other than that, that's all I have. And Chair will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.